This is A's Cast Live, your comprehensive look at the Oakland Athletics.
Drive to deep center field. Going back, Hernandez at the track, right to the wall. Gone! Elvis Andrews!
And 29 other MLB clubs.
High drive, deep left field. Nino left the building.
Guerrero lifts one to left field and gone! Ohtani, that was a moonshot out there in the right center.
Alonso defends his title, the 2021 Derby champion.
Join us as we take you inside the baseball universe, from OPS Plus to juiced balls to game-changing moments. We have you covered. Spend your afternoon with us next from the town, only on A's Cast Live. Here's Chris Townsend.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. Yes, it is another edition of A's Cast Live as we're getting you ready for the Athletics and the Houston Astros on an absolute beautiful day here right before we get into June. And, you know, there are times in life where you just sit back and you go, man, I'm blessed. And it's a day like this where we're doing the show from the field, getting you ready for a Major League Baseball game where everything just seems to be perfect. The grass is perfect. It's BP going on. You can see what I'm talking about if you're watching right now on YouTube. If you're watching on Twitter, you can just see it's spectacular. And we got great guests today. The Blummer, Geoff Blum, is going to be here at 4:15. The World Series hero, Cal Bear great, now TV extraordinaire for the Houston Astros, will be here at 4:15. Jed Lowrie, one of my all-time favorites with the A's because he's been with the A's, I don't know, what is it now, like 12 different times in his career he's been with the A's. And, well, you know, get into a lot to, you know, just not his game, but where he is in his career helping people get better, as this team obviously needs a lot of help, having the lowest batting average in all of baseball at 213. And just, you know, clubhouse guy. What he's doing as a mentor. Jed Lowrie will be here at 4:30, or we should say after BP. And then Dallas Braden will be here at 4:45. And a lot to get into with Dallas pitching-wise and talking baseball here on A's Cast Live. Commander, Memorial Day, we missed you. Obviously, you were busy. And I am wearing, as you can see today, the Stockton Port shirt that the great Alex Jensen, who does play-by-play for the Oakland Athletics and the Stockton Ports, brought me. I didn't wear the hat, but I'm repping Ports today on the show.
That's where I was yesterday. I went and watched Stockton take on the San Jose Giants in San Jose, played host to the future Mrs. Alex Jensen, the great Sammy O'Brien, who we will see her father on Friday when the Red Sox come to town.
Yes.
So I was hanging out with her and my wife, and we watched that game. Ports got blown out. I think it was 10-2 is the final.
It's Memorial Day. Doesn't matter. It's a holiday. It's minor league baseball. Is there anything better than minor league baseball in the holidays and all the promotions and everything that they do?
And then right after that, Alex wanted to drop off your Ports gear, so we stopped at your house on a detour back to my apartment.
Yes, that is correct. And coming up on the A's Cast Live set very aggressively, Jessica Kleinschmidt, take it. I have a feeling you have something to tell us of importance.
Everything I say is of importance.
I know, but the way normally you glide.
Am I a glider?
You're a glider. This is not, you weren't gliding here. You were stomping over here like someone, I've got news.
I did I have some attitude with that? Is that what it was?
No, you had that like that news person who's coming into the room and we're breaking something. Do I need to do my ABC breaking news sounder? Is it big?
Please, yes.
Cody?
Wow, that's
live from New York. It's time for an ABC Sports Desk moment I'm Chris Townsend.
I'm a little nervous now.
See, I could have been a news guy.
You really could have. Like that was
put
very
me in a tie, put me in the behind the desk.
It was very Anchorman style. Which
Joe Biden today met with the feds. I could have done a whole thing.
I feel like I'm there. Do you have some small news? It's big news for me just because he's a personal favorite of mine. One Mr. Brent Honeywell Jr. said he plans to throw tomorrow for the first time since he was shut down in spring with a stress reaction.
Yeah.
We would make sure it's a stress reaction. A lot of people were twisting it and saying it was a stress fracture, but it definitely is indeed a stress reaction.
Okay, when I was in medical
in the bone of his elbow.
When I was in medical school, we didn't go over this. Stress reaction versus
a stress fracture.
Stress fracture.
Yeah, fracture. Think of the word fracture. There's a lot more involved.
That's a break.
That's a break.
What's a reaction? Reaction to me is like I got food poisoning.
I don't know the details of that. That's probably a Nick Paparesta question, but he did tell me not too long ago that his velocity's getting where it needs to be, and he thinks he can get back to where it used to be, but that's ultimately what it was. So he wants to make sure that everybody knows the difference between a reaction and a fracture.
All right,
and it's that.
Well, it's good because we forget about him, and you think about bringing him.
I
over.
Never forget about Brent Honeywell.
You didn't. I think the rest of us, when you're not here, you kind of forget about some of these guys, and God knows they need pitching.
Yeah.
And at what point he was looked at as a top young arm. I mean, if you can get a guy back healthy and at some point this season to pitch for the A's, I mean, what a victory that would be for him personally, for his career.
Well,
but also what it means for the A's. Get him some innings and then say, okay, you get a chance to try and win a job in spring training.
Yeah, and I think about the storyline itself is dope. And you think about how you mentioned how far along he's come. He was a very highly touted prospect from the beginning, and he just kept getting injured and injured. Look at the AJ Pucks of the world. Same thing similar happened to him, and look what he's doing now. I don't want to compare Puck and Honeywell in this scenario as far as a closer or a reliever goes, as opposed to what that's going on. But you're right, he can give this pitching staff the boost it desperately needs, and just for his personal psyche. And when the trade even occurred, or when they picked him up, I thought it was great. I think he loves the guys. He even told me it's probably the best team he's ever been a part of as far as the chemistry goes. So, and he says there's a lot of similarities between here and the Rays, of course. And that's, the clubhouse vibe is good. They're all bros, but then also he knows the A's and the Rays are always getting compared more like monetarily values and all that stuff. So yeah, I really hope it works out for him, but he's always in good spirits, which is, I feel, a big part of it, but that's some good news there.
Sweet.
Yeah, I was actually just trying to video bomb, but now I'm here. But I, appreciate your guys' time.
Well, you got in. You got in the program.
It's a big deal for me. I'm a big fan of you guys.
Long-time listener, first-time caller.
Did you just cut me off?
My bad. My bad.
Wow.
I'm glad you brought up the first time, long time.
I like to pretend I'm a first-time caller, long-time listener. Yeah.
What if
or a first-time listener, long-time caller. That's one that I like. Always
first
a pleasure.
Time listener,
long-time caller.
Yeah. It's like you're always complaining about something without actually officially taking in the product.
I can't tell you how many times in my career you'd get that. Oh, I've been listening for years. The first time I called. Well, we could have used your call probably about a couple hundred times over all these years.
And I love your ports shirt. That's
I'm
fantastic.
repping today.
This
is what I don't think we give enough love to our minor league team. So I've done the lug nuts.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm the ports.
Yes.
Midland, you're on board.
Midland's
Vegas,
next.
Where's my aviator gear?
Aviators has some good swag. I will say that.
We better hit up Fran. Fran will get it for us.
You send me the stuff, I'll rep it here at the big league level.
I want a Grant Holmes jersey personally.
I just wanted. Can you give me a wig with his hair?
A wig? I mean, I can't create miracles. You need as long as your ponytail's not showing, Cody, we're good. So as long as it's so bad.
He showed up to my house yesterday, and everybody was in his Euro trash man bun.
It's so bad.
Whatever you call it. Everybody was like, "Yeah, that's not a good look." When you have multiple women.
Yeah.
Samuel, the future Mrs. Jensen does like it.
No, she does not.
No, she doesn't. She's just being nice.
So you had one of my dear friends, Felicia. She's like 52. My wife under 50. And then two beautiful.
A lot of years under 50, I might add.
So we're talking 50s to 30s. Bunch of women looking at it going, no, doesn't play.
Yeah. No, I mean, what does your wife think about it? Is she?
Oh, she doesn't like it, but that's why I do. That's why I do it.
That's all that matters. Is that what marriage is? You just do stuff y'all don't like?
Pretty much,
Talk me out of it. Thank you.
21 years. A lot of fun.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thanks,
Thanks
Geoff.
guys.
By the way, speaking of today's action, I think I figured out a way to defeat the Houston Astros. It's simple.
I think I know where you're going with this, but I love it anyway.
Okay. Do you think I'm overstating this?
No, because it's fact.
By the way, you're not in the shot. You got to get over it.
I'm in here now.
Okay. Geoff Blum's going to join. I saw Blummer.
I did too. He was sitting in the booth.
He's over. What time? He's coming on 4:15.
Yeah,
right. Okay, so he's got time.
He'll be here somewhere.
This is how you beat the Astros. You give up one home run or less. You give up one home run or less, you've got a legit chance to beat the Houston Astros. Do you know why?
Again, I'll play into the bit, but I know why. But
you're supposed to say no.
No, I don't know.
Because the Astros are 16-0 when they hit multiple home runs. 2 or more home runs, they're undefeated. Now, the whole "it's early" crowd, you've been kicked to the curb. Okay, anybody who loves using "it's early," you now are officially done for the 2022 season. We'll see you in Mesa, Arizona next spring training.
Yeah,
can I say that to the you love to play that's early? No panic here. We got a long way to go. You now are officially done. We'll see you in spring training.
Yeah, we're already a quarter way through the season.
Yeah, people are now Joe Girardi. I just got a thing from was it Ken Rosenthal? I think wrote something.
Yeah, he did.
It just popped up on my phone. Oh my God, Joe Girardi. Oh, so defensive bullpen still a problem in Philadelphia.
Hold on, I thought it was Gabe Kapler's fault why they couldn't win. You replace Kapler and they're going to win. What have they done?
Well, they've replaced everybody in the bullpen, and
they still can't win.
Yeah, so the "it's early" crowd, especially around here, the A's right now hitting an MLB worst 213. Never in my many years of being a fan of MLB Now, my favorite show on television.
Brian Kenny, shout him out.
Friend of the program.
Joel Sherman, not a friend.
Jason Stark was on today. He's a friend of the program. Gave me one of the great Italian restaurant recommendations I've ever got in my life. Ralph's in the old part of Philadelphia. Phenomenal. Knocked out of the park. Which also happened to be the same place Mark Kotze took his staff for dinner before the season started when the A's opened up in Philadelphia. I took my family there at the start when we did our East Coast trip. Jason Stark gave me the recommendation. So you're getting it here on A's Cast Live. Ralph's. It's in the old part of Philadelphia. It's old school like that. The streets are so tiny, right? And it was a mafia hangout place. Now, it's not like the New York Mafia where you say John Gotti hung out here or Paul Castellano. No, not. It's you don't know the Philadelphia mob the way you knew the New York mob, right? They didn't make money. They didn't make documentaries really that much on the Philadelphia guys. But on their website they talk about it. When you go in there to this restaurant, you actually feel like someone might get whacked here. It's got that old school mafia feel. Like you can see why the mafia guys hung out there back in the day. And I really thought someone could get whacked while we were there. It was that realistic.
I'll take your word for it. I won't be going back to Philly anytime soon.
That's right. Eastern Pennsylvania. This is Pittsburgh.
Whoa, yeah, Western PA.
Western PA. They don't like the eastern part of the state. It's like east, because really the western part of the state is really like more, as we would say, the central part of the country.
The Midwest.
You're more Midwest than you are East Coast when you're on the western part of Pennsylvania than the eastern part.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, Pittsburgh's close to the Ohio border. Like, we're about 2 hours from Cleveland.
So, major issue. So, by the way, getting back to the A's. A's are hitting 213, MLB worst. They've lost 17 of 21 home games. They've been outscored at home 18-56. And now joining us just over here, we're now a TV show.
What?
Yes, ladies and gentlemen.
I would have gotten dressed up if you said that.
The great Cal Bear.
Let me mess with my mic and really screw.
We're doing fantastic. The Cal Bear, the World Series hero, and now the star of Astros television. Blummer, how are you?
Good. How you doing, Townie?
It has been so long. I want to hug you. I know it'd be weird on our show, but it's been so long since we've seen you.
It has been a while. It has been too long. You've been busy, man.
Yeah. We keep going. COVID, we keep going. Everything, lockout, we keep
going.
going.
I'm talking about getting older and going to Augusta.
Oh, yeah, that was pretty
That was pretty good.
Yeah, that was.
I've only been maybe 3 or 4 times, and I was jealous that you went this year.
It was. It's the best way to put it.
Was it everything you thought it would be?
It's like Walt Disney came in and built a golf course, and everything's perfect. Because I'm looking around like all the pine straw is perfect, and we're looking around going, "There's no pine trees. Where are they getting all this pine? Like everything's
imported. Even the azaleas in the back, they're bringing those things in fresh as can be. Plant them that day, and let's go.
And there's not one that's not bloomed and perfect.
Exactly. How about the fact that now being on this side and understanding what it takes to put a production on? Granted, it's not as efficient as this, but that thing. Did you notice any wires?
No,
not one wire. They buried everything at that place. They dug that entire thing up, piped it, lined it with wires. So now you cannot see a wire. All you see is just absolute pristine grass and pine straw. It's unbelievable.
We're there for the practice round on Wednesday, and you're in the southeast, so you're going to have lightning, and all of a sudden there's lightning in the distance. You don't see any speakers, but all of a sudden it's, "Dear patrons, you need to leave. Dear patrons, you need to leave. Lightning is on its way. Please." And you're like, where are these speakers? And it's
the voice of God.
It's a whole sound. Coolest thing. They have multiple places at Augusta that are like little shopping stores.
Yep.
And you're able to go in, and I spent a grip of cash. I didn't care.
Yeah.
I was like, I'll take one of that, one of that.
You
one.
have to.
And then you walk out, and then you get in line, and you take it up and give it to them, and they go, "It'll arrive at your house on Tuesday."
Is this not the greatest system ever?
I'm like, wait a minute. So you're telling me you're going to take this and ship it to my house?
Yeah, you don't have to haul it around the course. We're going to ship it to your house, and you go have a good time.
I started getting
And
worried.
you forget about all the money you spent too.
I was starting to get worried. Going, how am I going to carry? When we were checking out, I'm like, how am I going to carry all these?
Yeah.
And then when you walk outside, you go here. And then we fly back Tuesday.
Yep.
It arrived at my house.
It's fantastic. How about the fact that you can go in there? Granted, you paid a boatload to get that ticket to get on the course. And then for $20, you got a couple of sandwiches and like 3 beers, and you're ready to go.
Beers are $3.50.
Yeah, that's what I love about that place. They're holding on tight to that like 1950s like price tag on that thing.
I've done Super Bowl, NBA Finals, World Series, U.S. Open, Ryder Cup, President's Cup. I've done by far the best sporting event I've ever been to.
By far. Yeah, and you know what's crazy? It's so good that my wife, who hates golf, period, loves going to the Masters because she just loves the way the event is put on. It's clean, it's beautiful, the drinks are good, the cost is right at the concession stand. You get to walk wherever you go. She goes, "I don't have to sit in that seat the entire time." I'm like, "No, babe, let's go for a walk." Yeah, I go set the thing down and we'll go for a walk. We'll come back in a couple hours and grab that seat. Yeah, everybody's like, how happy is everybody there? Everybody's just elated to be on the course and be experiencing what's happening there. That's the other beautiful thing about it. But how about the hills?
Yeah.
There's a couple where you feel like you're trudging up a hill big time.
You watch it your entire life, and then you get there, and then you say, "Oh, I get it now."
Yeah.
You start getting it. Like I followed Rory in a practice round and watching like on number 5 green and how crazy I get it now.
Yeah.
Like you get it. You've seen it on TV. Dude. Now you realize, oh, they 3-putt and are mad. I could 4-5 putt these greens.
Oh, easily. Yeah.
It'd be crazy
you put
to
that
play.
ball on the green and tell me to go for par, and that would be tough.
I recently texted you about this Astros team going,
Yeah.
You know what?
Way to bring it back, dude.
Man, I need to use it. I need to use this for pregame too.
I know, I got you. I'm with you. I'm just giving you a hard time, man, because it's been so long.
So you look at the Astros,
yep,
top to bottom, pitching. Right now, the Astros' best ERA, starters, relievers in the month of May.
Dude.
You hit bombs, and you don't need to hit bombs to score runs.
Yeah.
When you look at this as a complete team, just talk about how they can beat you really in every way.
Well, that's what the craziest thing about it. And looking at the main numbers for the Houston Astros, I believe they, like you just said, best starters, best relievers. And I think the relievers are throwing, maybe 2 innings a game. So the starters are going 6, 7 innings. It's insane what these guys have been able to do. And they did it with a 6-man rotation when they brought Christian Javier out of the bullpen, inserted him into the rotation. He didn't flinch, went 5 innings, I think, the first start. And then you lose a guy like Jake Odorizzi, who was on a tear for about 4 or 5 starts, and you lose him to that ankle injury. you're going, how are we gonna fix this? Who are we gonna put in the middle of this? And you didn't have to put anybody in there. You called up a guy like Seth Martinez, who now is on a nine inning scoreless streak, I think, and he's covering 3-4 innings for the Astros when you do get that occasional short start. So it all starts with pitching. They've been unbelievable, but that's what allows you to get the 1-run, the 2-run, 3-run home run, and all of a sudden sit back, because these guys aren't, as well as they're playing, their offense hasn't been up to par with the pitching. And that's probably the most scary thing about it, is they've been relying a lot on the home run, but they've scored 4 runs. I think they're undefeated on the season. So all they have to do is get that 4-run plateau with a pitching staff that's like at a 2.5, and then all of a sudden it's lights out. It's been incredible.
Write that down for the pregame show. What, they score 4 runs or undefeated?
It's unbelievable. Yeah, we put up a stat the other day, and I mean, you could even probably go back even further, with the way these guys have been good for so long. But if you look at 4+ runs for the Astros this season, I don't think they've been beaten.
Well, I'll give you this. Astros hit 2 or more home runs. They're 16-0.
Yeah, and I was actually talking to our producer about that before the game today, because we were watching this, and you're saying, okay, they score what, 51% of the runs via the home run. Pitching staff is already holding everybody down, so 2 home runs makes a lot of sense. Just drive it out of the ballpark. But what they have to do is get on base and get those big swings. But that doesn't shock me at all. 16-0 with 2 home runs. Another gained 3 or 5 or whatever it was in the World Series and did a great job. Christian Javier moving from the bullpen to the starting rotation and back has been phenomenal. And it's crazy that they created this kind of depth. They don't have the depth in the position players as probably to where they would like to be, but they have pitching depth. They have guys in AAA right now that have big league experience but can't fit into this bullpen.
Wow, that's saying a lot. And, the big question that a lot of people are going to have is, you got star power, obviously, with the Angels, and they're fun to watch.
Oh, man, they're going to score some runs.
But, how are they going to get 27 outs night in and night out? And to me, with Seattle being a big disappointment, but you know what? They were out over their skis last year with the run. You could say,
when you look at the numbers, yes, I'm with you.
Fun
on that.
differential versus run differential, whatever. But obviously, with what you look at, it's to me probably going to be a 2-horse race. It's, can they pitch to hang on against the Astros?
Yeah, watching Iglesias stumble over the last couple of outings, I think, is kind of concerning if I'm an Angels fan, because he was the one guy I was like, dude, if they sign him back, they're going to be formidable, because they have somebody that can shut those games down. They haven't really had that bullpen in the last 3 or 4 years to compensate when the team goes out there and actually has a lead late in the game. But, signing Syndergaard and bringing back some of these guys, health is another thing. Whether or not they can actually hold down an offense is one thing, but can they be healthy enough to give you 30 starts for Joe Madden to be able to go out there and allow those guys to go out there and score? But they're going to have to score 8-9 runs a game to try and beat people. And how long can you sustain that?
I don't know. They're going to be in New York for the first time, taking on the Yankees.
That's going to be highly entertaining.
Yeah, just
is Shohei throwing out there?
He's not going today. I think he's one of the starts, but Trout has dominated when he's been, kind of going back home for him, a Philly kid. I just think it's going to be. I think it's going to be. I think this division, I wish, is going to be more exciting. I know for you, coming back here, I know you've all secretly pulled for the A's, being a Cal Bear.
I've always been a NorCal guy. Whenever you pull up the standings or pull up the computer, and you're always kind of like taking a peek out of the corner of your eye, going, "Where are these guys at?" Even the Giants. There's an affinity here that I can't deny.
Well, let's end on this. It always means you haven't been able to come here for a while. What does it mean for you, a guy who's had such? I mean, it's your college. It's an area that means so much to you in your life.
No, it's family. That's what it is. It's when I've come up here in the past, and granted, the last 2 years we haven't been able to get out here. Usually, I will go out and have breakfast with Bob Milano. I know that his health is a little bit of an issue right now, so we're kind of pulling back on that. But that's where I grew up. That's where I became a man. That's where, when I had time and money to come over and have a good time, I came over to San Francisco and kind of rummaged through some of these local dive bars and had a good time. And of course, I spent plenty of time in Berkeley. I learned how to play the game. I learned how to be a student athlete. Under Bob Milano, I think I grew up a lot. So I owe this community a lot for me personally. And every time I come back, I always look across the bay. I can't help myself because we'll stay in San Francisco and you're coming across the Bay Bridge. I'll just be blindly staring out the window at the Campanile across the way, just going, man, remember the good old days, and trying to remember, some of the times that we had out there at Evans Diamond. But there's still a pretty healthy email chain with all those guys from the 92 World Series team that I was on. And when I go through certain cities, I'll get a random text or a random email and, hey, Blum, are you in town? So we still keep in touch. And obviously, I wouldn't have the job I have right now, sitting and talking baseball, if I wasn't able to complete a sentence. So, the benefit of going to Cal, not just playing in the pack, was actually getting a damn good education and being able to convince people that I can carry a sentence, impromptu and watch the game and criticize appropriately.
Great Cal Bear, World Series hero, and now outstanding on Astros television. He's been one of our favorites. He's been truly so kind to us ever since we started A's Cast Live.
Yeah, and coming back here and talking with you guys is always great too, man.
You've meant a lot. Seriously, you've meant a lot to this.
Yeah.
You've always been there for us, and I've always appreciated it.
Always will, man. Appreciate it.
Good luck, buddy.
Yeah, thank you very much. Good seeing you, Townie.
We got Jed Lowrie coming up next right here on A's Cast Live.
The Coliseum has gone by many names, but none better than the Last Dive Bar. Hi, everyone. Ken Korak here, and my friends at Last Dive Bar are helping us celebrate our longtime home. Last Dive Bar has the most unique merchandise for all Oakland baseball fans. T-shirts, sweatshirts, the Ray Fosse line, and my personal favorite, the lights have taken full effect. Visit their website at lastdivebar.com or follow them on social media at Last Dive Bar. All proceeds are invested back into the A's Community Fund and their affiliated charities. Go to lastdivebar.com. That's lastdivebar.com.
Some things just go together. Peanut butter and jelly, cookies and milk, Oakland and Kaiser Permanente. If that last one caught you off guard, it shouldn't, because Kaiser Permanente has been helping keep Oakland healthy since our very beginning. And as the official healthcare partner of the Oakland A's, that won't be changing anytime soon. Whatever you may need, you can trust Kaiser Permanente to help keep you feeling your best. Kaiser Permanente. Thrive. Visit kp.org today.
What's it like having supersonic Wi-Fi from Xfinity? It's fast, like riding a cheetah fast. Kitty, U-turn please. Unbeatable internet only from Xfinity.
Get supersonic Wi-Fi with the new Xfinity 3-for-1 bundle. Unlimited gig internet with a 2-year rate guarantee, a free streaming box, and add Xfinity Mobile. Go to xfinity.com/3for1, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Restrictions apply. Xfinity Mobile requires post-pay Xfinity Internet. After 24 months, regular rates apply to all services and devices.
Unlock offers and receive exclusive in-game features by downloading the MLB Ballpark app for iPhone and Android today. Plus, get the latest information on game times, schedules, and more.
A's Cast Live continues from Rickey Henderson Field. Here's Chris Townsend.
Well, how about that? Back-to-back huge A's Cast Live guest. You think about what Blummer has meant to us. We got Jed here, what you've meant to us for so many years here with the A's, and always so kind with your time. And now we're doing this people can watch this live on YouTube and Twitter and get to kind of see the background and see BP.
Perfect.
It's a game changer, and always great to have you on the show. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me again.
I got to think today was kind of a special day for you because it looks like you had your kids out there with you.
I did. I brought Miles out for the first time, and then my daughter and wife showed up a few minutes later. So Sage got to come down as well.
So what is that like as your kids get older? Because when they were young, I remember they were really young, and they don't know.
Yeah, right.
But now they know. What is that like as a father?
I mean, that's that type of experience, right? Getting the opportunity to share that type of experience with them is, it's not something I got to experience. So that means everything to me, like having them on the field with me and being a part of my day and seeing what it takes to kind of go through it.
It's got to be a whole different perspective for you to now, going from you have the kids, you got babies, you're trying to play through it, not easy, to now that they're older and they're self-sufficient and everything.
Sure.
I mean, what is that like as you get older in the game and your family gets older with you? What is that like?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's these types of moments, right, where you get the opportunity to, have shared experiences, and it makes it all the more special.
Yeah. When you look at this team right now, what needs to happen to get things going for you guys at home?
Well, I mean, just I think cashing in on opportunities first and foremost, and just finding ways to continue to get guys on base and getting those big hits. And I think we're gonna have to find ways to score runs here. The power numbers haven't been as good at home, and it's a little different. You never really know with the Coliseum. Some nights the ball's just not going to travel. And so you got to find ways to string hits together and get those big hits. Because sometimes the Coliseum doesn't play the same as other parks when we go on the road.
The one thing about your game that we've always loved is that you're the extra base hit machine. I mean, we know the doubles and what you've done in your career here with the A's. I've always loved your brand. I kind of like the brand we got going now. Now, not everybody hits home runs, and now it's about scoring runs, maybe traditionally the old school way. Let's have some stolen bases. Let's hit behind the runners. Yeah. Let's take bags. I mean, this plays into your game. Have you enjoyed less of the everything's launch angle and everybody's trying to hit home runs and more trying to maybe a little bit more old school?
Yeah, I mean, me personally, it hasn't really changed the way I approach the game. I think I've never gone up there trying to hit home runs. I've tried to drive the baseball, and when you get a good pitch to drive, the ball's going to go out. And this year the ball has performed a little differently than what we've seen in the last few years. But once again, that's not really changing the way that I approach the game, because I'm looking for a pitch that I can handle and drive. And that doesn't necessarily, when I say drive, that doesn't necessarily mean in the air. It just means like hit the ball hard somewhere.
Yeah, I think about the walk-off hit against the Rangers.
Right.
I mean, that's just, you're what they give you is what you're going to take. Precisely. And you hit it hard no matter what. But the joy that you guys still have, that's one thing I think Mark Kotze has really installed is there's going to be fight every game. No matter what forget about the records, forget about the numbers.
Sure.
Fight every game, and that you guys still got to enjoy yourselves. And I think we saw that it was an ugly game that you guys won.
Right. Yeah. No, I mean, I think that's all part of the process, right? And so, if you can't find ways to enjoy the good moments in this game, it's a hard game, and you're not always going to be a part of a winning team. And so when you have those moments, you always have to enjoy them.
So we've talked a lot. I know we talked about this in spring training. You played with Mark Kotze.
Yeah.
And now him as a manager, as a new manager, what is that like for you, seeing the guy you played with and now seeing a guy who's maturing in his own as a skipper?
Yeah. No, I mean, I think personality-wise, energy-wise, he's the same guy. He's a high-energy guy, emotional guy that, he's invested. Like, he wants to see everybody do well, and he expects a lot out of everybody, and he expects us to fight, just like you were saying, until the very end. And that, anytime he has a message for us, it seems like he always emphasizes that, right? That we're not gonna give anything away, and we're gonna fight to the end. And I think that's the type of brand that the A's have been known for a very long time, and I think he continues in that tradition.
You played with some great players when you were young, and I'm sure they said things to you that to this day you remember. Now you're an older player.
Yeah.
Do you ever find yourself saying some of the things that those guys said to you, you're now saying to younger players?
Yeah, I mean, there's there's moments where something needs to be said. Just even just a clap of the hands in the dugout, right? Like, hey, let's just continue to grind this out, right? Don't give anything away. Just little things that it's easy to get discouraged. That something little, just a little earbug, right? That hopefully can flip somebody's mindset. And then, I learned a lot just by watching the way that a lot of the guys that I came up with went about their business. And there's a lot to be said in this game about, watching and learning how to go about your business on a daily basis.
That's so interesting because we always think about, what people say to other people, how you teach people, when maybe one of the greatest tools is just to not say anything and use your eyes and use your ears, not your mouth, and to see. So, and I think Marcus Semien was a great example, as Marcus was a guy that if you're a younger player, Marcus didn't say much, but man, did anybody work harder? And I think about you and the craft of what you have to do every single day as a switch hitter. You got to work on your right and left swing as much as someone works on one. So just talk about that, how important it is really to use your eyes more than your mouth.
Yeah, no, I think that's there's really nothing else to be said, right? I think especially as a young player, we're trying to figure out who you are in the game. You see the veteran guys and how they go about their business and what it takes to put yourself in a position to perform every day, to give the team the opportunity to win. And so I think that's, that doesn't mean that, young players have to come up and, zip their lip, right? Like we want guys to come up and be themselves, show their personality, but at the same time, learn how to go about your business at the major league level to help the team win.
All sports, doesn't matter. We're talking NFL, NBA, hockey, whatever. All sports change as they go on, especially when you play a long time, everything change. What do you still love about the game?
There's not a lot I don't like about the game. I would say first and foremost, what I love is the opportunity to face the best in the world every single day. And to my knowledge, there's not another, career where every single day for 8 months out of the year, you get to face the best in the world. And that type of, cauldron just it really sharpens your blade, right? Like you have the opportunity to make adjustments and to see the best in the world and to test your mindset, your physicality, everything about it. And on a daily basis. There's no other sport like it. There's no other job like it.
Well, that's what we've always loved about having you on, is you're just not going to sit there and feed us cliches.
Yeah.
You say something. That's why I wonder, if you didn't do baseball, what do you think you would have done?
I have no idea. I've always been interested in business in general. But I really don't know. Growing up, I was either outside playing or I was inside playing computer games or video games. So yeah, truth be told, I don't know. I went to school, got my degree. So baseball was
Stanford's
always
kind of a decent degree.
Yeah, it's hopefully it's not just a piece of paper on the wall. But no, that's I always I didn't put all of my eggs in one basket. In terms of baseball, I always wanted to be well rounded. But it's I'm obsessed with baseball, and so it's always been my passion.
Do you see Jed 2.0 somewhere? Front office, coaching, ownership.
Yeah.
I mean, where do you see once you say, okay, I'm done playing,
Right.
I'm going somewhere? I mean, you don't seem like a guy to me that's just going to play golf every day and hang out.
No, I'm definitely not. I will definitely be playing some golf, but it won't be, it won't be on a daily basis, I don't think. And what that is, I don't know what that role is in the game. It'll definitely be something. I feel like the the experience and knowledge that I've gained throughout the years, and like I said, my passion, my obsession with the game, I feel like will lead me, down the path that was right for me. And I just don't know what that is quite yet.
I know you got to go, so let's end on this.
Yeah.
I think there's going to be, and you kind of fit right in that era perfectly, of a marriage and a blend. Not too much old school, not too much new school. Kind of be able to be both, be able to teach both, understand both. I think a guy that's played in the timeline of baseball when you played understand that. Am I overstating that, or do you think a guy like yourself could long-term really help a lot of people because you could marry both together?
Yeah. No, I think I am uniquely situated in that regard, that I've seen both worlds, and it's the game's in a place where, from a entertainment standpoint, and the way that the product is delivered on the field, there's some things that I know the commissioner is working hard to try to I don't know if modernize is the right word, but I like to think of baseball as a romantic game, right? And so I think part of that romance of the game is building some anticipation. And so I think, the opportunity to build that anticipation in the game is a little lackluster right now. I think, home runs are fun, strikeouts are fun, but it's kind of like a sugar rush. It happens and then it's over. There's no real anticipation. Like there's not a lot of movement. There's not a lot of coordination that's happening on the field. There's no plays on. So I think, building that anticipation kind of brings the romance back to the game.
And let me tell you about the evolution of Jed and our media here with the A's. The first time he ever came to the A's, we had Jed outside the stadium. We taped the interview in an old Raiders. It was like a metal ticket box. It was like 8,000 degrees.
It was really hot.
And I'm like, we're really going to go do Jed in there? And we had never met before. To where now you're live on YouTube, Twitter,
know, right?
We're on the field. It's amazing the change you've seen in how this team gets covered.
Yeah, that is a memory that I will never forget, because that was that was a hot box. Let's just put it that way, for no other reason than the temperature.
Yeah, you're in a different market now, my friend. Well, hey, thanks for everything. We always appreciate it. Good luck tonight. We got more coming up next right here on A's Cast Live.
The Coliseum has gone by many names, but none better than the Last Dive Bar. Hi, everyone. Ken Korak here, and my friends at Last Dive Bar are helping us celebrate our longtime home. Last Dive Bar has the most unique merchandise for all Oakland baseball fans. T-shirts, sweatshirts, the Ray Fosse line, and my personal favorite, the lights have taken full effect. Visit their website at lastdivebar.com or follow them on social media at Last Dive Bar. All proceeds are invested back into the A's Community Fund and their affiliated charities. Go to lastdivebar.com. That's lastdivebar.com.
Humanity has accomplished a whole lot so far. We created penicillin, the automobile, and the internet, not to mention drones, duct tape, and the hot dog. It's all thanks to the power of human connections. And Ring Central's here to make that even easier, more seamlessly and securely, on a platform built to grow your business. Say hello to a whole new way to say hello. Visit ringcentral.com and say hello to possibilities. Ring Central. Message, video, phone, together.
Unlock offers and receive exclusive in-game features by downloading the MLB Ballpark app for iPhone and Android today. Plus, get the latest information on game times, schedules, and more.
If you're looking for a new mattress, Nest Bedding has you covered. Sleep on the same mattress Hall of Famer Ricky Henderson sleeps on. Nest Bedding is a national brand with family-owned prices and service. You can shop at one of their Barrier locations, and all stores are sanitized and safe, or you can navigate their easy-to-use website, nestbedding.com. That's nestbedding.com. Green and gold fans, use the coupon code Oakland and you'll get 10% off your entire order. Nest Bedding, love where you sleep.
What's it like having supersonic Wi-Fi from Xfinity? It's fast, like riding a cheetah fast. Kitty, U-turn please. Unbeatable internet only from Xfinity.
Get supersonic Wi-Fi with the new Xfinity 3-for-1 bundle. Unlimited gig internet with a 2-year rate guarantee, a free streaming box, and add Xfinity Mobile. Go Go to Xfinity.com/3for1, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Restrictions apply. Xfinity Mobile requires post-pay Xfinity Internet. After 24 months, regular rates apply to all services and devices.
This is Chris Townsend for the Chicken Pie Shop of Walnut Creek. Great news! Our indoor dining is back, along with our beautiful patio dining. Come taste our world-famous chicken pie that has been served in Southern California for 83 years. The Chicken Pie Shop of Walnut Creek has one of the most dynamic menus, plus a full bar. Pot pies, gourmet burgers, sandwiches, salads, flatbreads, and more. Don't forget, we still do takeout and delivery. For all the information, go to chickenpieshopwc.com. That's chickenpieshopwc.com.
Innovation that's at the heart of Cal State East Bay, like at our Green Biome Institute, where faculty and students map genes from California's endangered plants. Or how we open doors for local entrepreneurs at our Small Business Development Center. From educators to nurses to STEM professionals, Cal State East Bay has real impact throughout the region's neighborhoods, boardrooms, and entire economy. Be part of the innovation. Connect with Cal State East Bay at csueastbay.edu/impact.
A's fans, there is no better way to stay in touch with the A's and even our players than following us on social media. Just head over to athletics.com/social. That's athletics.com/social for a full list of our social coverage, from player accounts to Twitter handles and more. Now is the time to stay in touch. Head over to athletics.com/social. That's athletics.com/social today.
Mark your calendars. Fireworks are returning to the Coliseum on Friday, June 3rd after the A's host the Boston Red Sox.
And that swung on it high in the air down the left field line, deep in the corner. A Rosarena right down the line, fair or foul, gone!
After the game, fans will have the chance to head out onto the field to enjoy a post-game fireworks show presented by UBO Business Services. Don't miss your chance to see Game 1 of the A's Red Sox series and the best fireworks display in the Bay. Tickets are available at athletics.com.
Some things just go together. Peanut butter and jelly, cookies and milk, Oakland and Kaiser Permanente. If that last one caught you off guard, it shouldn't, because Kaiser Permanente has been helping keep Oakland healthy since our very beginning. And as the official healthcare partner of the Oakland A's, that won't be changing anytime soon. Whatever you may need, you can trust Kaiser Permanente to help keep you feeling your best. Kaiser Permanente. Thrive. Visit kp.org today.
Streaming from Rickey Henderson Field, A's Cast Live continues with Chris Townsend.
We're getting you ready for the Athletics and the Astros here on the field. Our set, A's Cast Live, when we're at home. A beautiful day at the Coliseum, and you see him now. Boy, have we changed, Dallas Braden, because not only do you hear A's Cast Live streaming, but now you can watch it on YouTube and Twitter.
No free ads. That's outstanding.
How about that?
That's outstanding.
Step your game up.
You continue to step the game up. I like it.
Keep growing, bro.
It's like you're living on a ladder, baby. Keep climbing, keep climbing.
Well, think about yourself.
That's it.
You went from pitching. Next thing you know, you're on ESPN. You're dealing down at fantasy camp. Still no one's taking you deep, right?
That's never going to happen. Let's be real,
No one's
Tony.
taking you deep.
Yeah, and I've got, I just want to let some folks that might be watching, listening, and I want to let you know, got a little something up my sleeve for fantasy camp this season. And I don't mean like coming from me. I mean for the camp. But I'm working hard behind the scenes to really take the meaning of fantasy camp to the next level.
Now that is called a tease.
So just know that. Every day I'm working on it. Every day.
So then you're getting on TV behind the plate. Now you're up in the booth.
Yeah.
Keep growing. I mean, for you, I don't know if you ever really thought you wanted to do this full time, because you got a lot going on. I mean, you had other obviously business things going. How you liking it? Did you ever think that you would want to do it full time?
First of all, it was never something that was ever really on my radar. And I was given a great opportunity many years ago to go out to ESPN, audition, met a lot of great people, was able to land the job, extension, had a great time there, right? I think what that did was kind of open my eyes to looking at the game and analyzing the game from a different perspective, allowing me to put a GM hat on at times, but really still, maintain a closeness with the player perspective of the game. and knowing that I'm not so far removed from the game. And because my love and passion and interest for the game, I find myself, I want to say that I'm at the brink of what we're doing in the game regarding technology and things of that nature. But I'm up to speed, and for me, that matters. So having the opportunity to do that was something that I was really excited about, and I didn't even know I was going to be excited about it. So for me, that's just the game kind of giving back in another way that I never really anticipated it would. And now here I am having the opportunity for a few years to be able to work with Kipe and work with Foss and really learn the game on a different level. I talk about these guys, these big leaguers who have a PhD, they have a doctorate, right? And that's something that you just, you don't get at 7-Eleven. They're not handing those out. So I got to work with a guy in Ray Fosse who had the PhD on the field and also had the PhD in the booth. And to be able to learn from somebody like that who shared a strong love and passion for the game that I do was such a blessing, because at times you can come into a place where there's cold shoulders, there's expectations that you're hoping to meet, and there's nobody there that really can serve as a sounding board for you. And that wasn't the case with me and Foss. So just to have that, Townie, and to, unfortunately not have him around any longer, but knowing that I'm a part of what he was a part of, I'm a part of what he's helped build here, and that means the world to me.
Yeah, and he's definitely looking down, and he's proud because you guys are carrying on his tradition. Of course, what we have here in the outfield and on the player's jersey, Foss would be proud. And when you say, they're just not handing this out at 7-Eleven, so you just can't get that with like Funyuns, some beef jerky, and a big gulp.
Sorry, bud. Your Flamin' Hot Cheetos do not come with like 2.5 years of service time at third base. It just doesn't work that way. I would love for it to work that way. It doesn't. I've got a lot of friends who, if you listen to them talk, it does work that way, because they go down and pick up big league time every time they go to the store. They're like, yeah, I'll just pick up another 150 ABs. I'll pick up another 20 innings and let you know what you should be doing out here.
And a Slim Jim.
Right. Yeah. Right. And a Slurpee, please.
Your time away from the game each year, now it's a little bit longer since you played. How do you think you've changed, not only just as a person, but now as an analyst?
I would say something I was always open to as a player, which I think has helped me, is the advancement of the game and looking for little things that you can do to get better, little things that you can do to separate yourself from the competition within and the competition outward, meaning you're trying to separate yourself when you're amongst the ranks in the minor leagues. How do I scratch and claw? Who do I need to eat today to get to where I need to be? The technology is great for that, not only in moments as far as assessment, acute assessment, but when you're trying to build as well. So just being able to do those things like that matters. That matters. So that's where my brain goes. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of how I look at
it. And you have always been proud of looking at it a different way.
Well, yeah,
or in your own unique way.
Yeah, because for me, I've been able to do so many different things in terms of what I was doing on the field as a player. I was by no stretch a closer, but I've pitched in the ninth inning. You know what I mean? I've quote unquote closed baseball games. I was not a closer by any stretch. Let's not get crazy. But I've been the mop up guy. I've been the go get the lefty guy. I've been an opening day starter. I've done all of those things. So seeing the game from all of those perspectives is for me an advantage.
Last time I checked, you have more complete games than that Jacob deGrom guy everybody wants to put in the Hall of Fame already. Isn't that correct?
That is true, but he's pretty good, Townie.
That doesn't matter.
He could end up with more no-hitters than anybody's got perfect, or not perfect. Anybody's got complete games.
I'm just saying facts are facts.
They are. Keep spitting them. Keep spitting them.
Playing on a bad team. Unfortunately, when you cover all the teams that I have, and it doesn't matter whether it's baseball or all the Raider teams that I covered here on this field, I covered a lot. I've covered great. I've covered bad. When you're on a bad team, people start getting into the me. And it's understandable. I mean, you're paid by your numbers. You're paid on what you do. You're auditioning for the A's and the 29 other teams. It's about your career. So how tough is it for someone for like Mark Kotze that the more you start to lose, it's tougher to keep everybody pulling on the same rope?
Well, I think what you have to do is make sure you are creating and continuing to mold and remain fluid the rope. And the rope can take on different shapes throughout the season. And that might look different than the rope, at the beginning of spring training. That rope, you've got a ton of, winning aspirations. This is what we want to do, regardless of what the naysayers are saying. We know what we can do, right? You understand that whole mindset. Well, that's that rope then. The rope might change and look a little different in July, come the All-Star break. That rope might not feel the same. So understanding that, can you get everybody to continue to pull in the direction of development, the direction of growth? And if everybody understands that they're just trying to get better together, and collectively what I think can happen is something we saw happen with the last group of guys that were here. And that's everybody just kind of got better all at the same time together. And then you started winning ball games when people were like, you're not supposed to be winning ball games. Why are you guys good again? How did this happen? And it's because everybody just kind of kept their head down, kept grinding. And when you look up and you're not listening to the outside noise, you've got a chance to be a hell of a lot better than you were 3 months ago. And I think that's what we're seeing incrementally in little spots throughout the diamond. We're seeing that happen. That's what I pay attention to. There's a lot to pay attention to this season for the team, for the organization. For me, having the opportunity to watch these guys grind each and every day, I'm looking at guys who put the work in every morning, every afternoon, and then I watch it unfold on the diamond. And that's why I think at the end of it all, regardless of what the win-loss record says, the development is going to be there. And it's going to be because a guy like Mark Kotze makes sure you understand at the end of this thing, did you get better today? That's what we're here to do. Did you get better? 1% better than we were yesterday. If so, I'll see you tomorrow. And you know what we're going to do tomorrow? We're going to get better.
So you talk about how the rope changes. Also, what's changing is a lot of different hands touching that rope.
Sure.
41 guys have been used by the A's so far, and we're not even in June yet. Mm-hmm. So you're going to have a lot of different faces. And at what point do you think there could be starting, and you might have saw this in your time, where there's a little bit of a pivot of older guys, the need for the older guys not so much, and as you just kind of put developing, got to start more developing guys as we maybe get into July and August of the season?
Well, that I think, again, where you're at competitively has a big impact on that. And where certain guys are at has an impact on that. Meaning if you have young guys that you feel are on the brink of their quote unquote development and ready to be impactful at this level and just need the opportunity, it might be time to run them up here. And if you feel like they're not necessarily ready to make an impact, but based on where we're at competitively, it'd be time to get some good looks at them, why not? Right? Those are conversations that are being had several pay grades above you and I, Townie. So when I think about where they're at, what you got to do, you're not worried about who's coming in that door and who's coming out of that door. Again, if your head's down and you're grinding, hopefully you're the one welcoming someone in, or hopefully you're the one who can put an arm around a guy on his way out and say, hey, just keep going. I know that I've been there too. We'll see you here very soon. You'll be here to help.
As a starter, and I don't know, I don't know how you're going to go with this, but to me, I look at some of these guys. I know I want to say, okay, who do I really want to get a look at? And I pick that guy, and let's just say the guy's name's Dallas Braden. And I want to see Dallas Braden pitch X amount of games, see how he prepares every 5 games. There might be some games you're hell on wheels. There might be other games you get your brains beat in. But I want to give you that opportunity and to see how you react to the good, the bad, the ugly, how you go about your business every day. And sometimes we're not allowing that. We're saying, oh, we put you out there for 2 games. You didn't go well. Boom, you're back down. How much do you want to see this organization pick whoever it is and say, we're going to give you an ample opportunity to go out and prove something to us.
Well, I think what you have to understand is getting to know these players is something that everybody has to do. Just because you've identified who they are through scouting doesn't mean you really know who they are, meaning what makes them tick. If you can put them in comfortable positions, how do they respond? How do they respond to turbulence? Those are questions that you can only have answered once you kind of get eyes on, or you can feel the pulse of, right? So that's really important. So I can understand wanting to get guys up here and sort of say, look, if it's not October or bust, and that's not the mindset, is there any value to getting an extended look at some of these guys who we think are going to be around and can help for a while? Is there any Sure, there's value to that, but is that the business operation? Is that how you efficiently utilize your resources? And is that the best way you're going to get your looks or your assessments? Again, decisions that you and I are not making.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Maybe they should come to us and say, hey, what do you think?
I'm open and available.
We're going to see Verlander. It's almost, with Tommy John surgery, coming back, being dominant again. I heard he's the Nolan Ryan of our generation.
Sure.
I don't know if I'm comfortable with that. I can see the comparison. Just what he's doing after what he's been through at his age. What does this truly mean for the game?
Why would it not be the Nolan Ryan of our generation? Is it because? What is it because?
Hell, he might be better. He might be in his own, because as much as I love Nolan Ryan, my generation loves Nolan Ryan. I mean,
Nolan's my guy. Don't get me wrong. Nolan's my guy. We're talking 7 no-hitters, 12 one-hitters, 22 two-hitters. Like, the dominance is just otherworldly.
You're talking about a guy that's won a World Series. You're talking about a guy who's won an MVP, Cy Young. I mean, I really hate him. Kate Upton's his wife. He's a scratch golfer. There's nothing about him that I like.
Verlander could possibly have 3 more Cy Youngs. Like, you could argue that he's been hosed out of multiple Cy Youngs.
And to do what he's doing at his age after the injury.
New tendon, baby. Keep
That's
rolling.
Amazing.
It's incredible. It's great. Just get the club re-gripped and you're ready to fire. You know what I mean? It's phenomenal.
Yeah, it doesn't always work that way, but it's working that way for him.
But that's a testament to keeping yourself in a condition that allows you to go out and perform day in, day out, regardless of where the arm is, right? And when you can do that, you're giving yourself an opportunity to bounce back from injury quicker than maybe other folks are, because rounding third, headed home in your career, maybe you're not so driven to do all of the little things, dietary restrictions, sleep, recovery. Like, putting the emphasis on all of those things is important every day you get older. So if you're serious about continuing to dominate the way he has, because it's not like he's just back pitching and, oh, this guy's good. It's not like he's just back pitching and, man, what if it was Verlander of old? Wouldn't he be great? Because he's still got some. He's still okay. It's no, that dude. That's the same. That's the same dude. That's the same dude, and that's scary. That is frightening. Because you scratch your head, you wonder, how do we get here? Like, isn't this supposed to be tapering off? I mean, maybe he's not finishing ball games with the frequency he was 12 years ago. Damn. Still pretty good.
Yeah, he's going straight into the Hall of Fame. I couldn't believe, like, before the injury, people were maybe questioning it, and then there was people who went, well, then after he got injured, has he done enough? You're like, yeah, I think this is a slam dunk first ballot Hall of Famer. Yeah, there were people writing these articles. You're like, and then now what he's doing. I mean, if he can come back and win a Cy Young again, which right now it's early.
He's the lead horse. Come on. I was having this conversation in the elevator. It's a lead horse.
He got a, 202?
Yeah.
And that's just because he had one outing where he recently gave up a couple runs.
Yeah, he got touched up, but
not really that bad. It was like 4 runs.
Yeah.
I mean, he was so low that 4 runs could get you up to 2, but still like 2.02. It's amazing.
It'll be fine.
This team right here, how would you go about pitching them knowing that they can beat you every single way?
What's tough is that they have, and I was saying this the other day, they have the combination of discipline and aggression littered throughout their lineup. And that's what I think you really strive to have, is guys who can put a really good swing on pitches early in the count, and then still have guys that have the discipline and the wherewithal to identify a pitcher who might be struggling, who might not have his best pitch today, and kind of wait him out. And if so, you really start to put pressure on a guy, and now the lineup starts to eliminate pitches. And when you have that combination of the discipline to get to a point where you are exposing a guy's inability to execute pitches, and then you have the aggression to jump on a guy that has to go to the fastball early because he can't get you with off speed early, that's a deadly recipe. Deadly. And that's what they're featuring right now, because the guy at the very top of the lineup can pop you and hurt you. Gurriel, probably the best bad ball hitter in baseball right now. Like, you got to throw it behind him to get it in on him. Otherwise, it's not going to happen. Like, he could turn on it.
Yeah.
You know, like, I got no shot of getting 87, no matter how much confidence I have getting it in there. He's going to have to hit my pitch. So these are guys, you just have to move the baseball around, and you have to try to stay as unpredictable as possible. There's really no recipe per se. Like, if you've got, and that's where, Townie, to the point of technology, that's where you really start to dive in and say, all right, is there anything that I'm featuring based on what it looks like, based on the visual for the hitter that I can do that can help me? Does my fastball play up against these guys? Do they like to get after the pitch at the top of the zone? If so, is there something I can do in my mix that allows me to expose that? Where now I just got to tickle the top. I got to step on it. Going to have to go get 90, 91, Dal, if you can. But if so, the technology tells me that. And that's going to help me formulate a game plan against this behemoth.
Yeah. These guys in the Dodgers, man, can't even imagine. You're preparing for teams that just, you look. I mean, the Dodgers are looking to do something to be like the all-time great in run differential what they're doing per game run differential.
Buddy, that's like rowing a hoe in a granite quarry. Like, you got zero chance. It's so brutal. There are no breathing holes. You know what I mean? Like, you're looking through that lineup. Where do I come up for air? You know, think about the Antarctic. You got a little seal just kind of lonely navigating.
Where's the hole in the ice?
Where do I pop up? Where do I pop up? The only problem is when you pop up, you got a leopard seal looming, ready to just, like, come on. This really? I got nowhere. I got nothing. That's what it feels like.
If where we are at the quarter point, and I can tell you about how the A's have the worst home record. I can tell you how the A's are getting drilled at home in run differential. I could tell you all this kind of stuff. You know it. I know it. You could go, Will, in on this. You could go into that clubhouse today and you could just say something to the group. What would you say?
You know, I honestly, Townie, I don't know that there's anything that necessarily needs to be said at this point. And that's because I truly believe what I said to you earlier about Mark Kotze and the communication with the group and understanding where we're at right now. Again, if you want to think about wins and losses right now and get caught up in that, I don't know that that's really going to help you focus on what opportunity lies in front of you. And you can speak like that sort of in generalities to virtually everyone in that room, right? Because almost everyone in that room has an opportunity that they've been waiting for a long time, which is to just establish the fact that I'm an everyday big leaguer, or I'm here in the big leagues ready to run away with this, ready to really take my game to the next level. And we've seen a lot of guys in that room show that opportunity is on the tip of their tongue. They know it, they can taste it. And that's present by the work I'm watching them put in each and every day. The work that gets put in when folks aren't here in the ballpark, the work that gets put in the tunnel. I can hear it walking in. I can hear it walking out after the ball game. So there's a lot to be said for knowing that what this season represents for everyone in that room is really a lot about getting better, establishing a routine, and seeing how that serves you when we look up in September.
Well, we've said it on the post-game show many of times. It's the year of discovery.
That's it.
YOD.
It's the era of opportunity.
Like, who's going to take advantage of it? A's got to find out who can help you now. A's got to find out who can help you in the future. The year of discovery.
I like it.
That's all I got.
I like it.
Boom. The great Dallas Braden
Good to
right
see you, my
here
man.
on A's Cast Live. We got more coming up as we get you ready for the A's and the Astros.
The Coliseum has gone by many names, but none better than the Last Dive Bar. Hi, everyone. Ken Korak here, and my friends at Last Dive Bar are helping us celebrate our longtime home. Last Dive Bar has the most unique merchandise for all Oakland baseball fans. T-shirts, sweatshirts, the Ray Fosse line, and my personal favorite, the lights have taken full effect. Visit their website at lastdivebar.com or follow them on social media at Last Dive Bar. All proceeds are invested back into the A's Community Fund and their affiliated charities. Go to lastdivebar.com. That's lastdivebar.com.
Hitting the road with the family. On your way to nonstop adventures. No worries ahead, because you know you can stop at a Chevron station along the way. Get fuel for your car, fuel for your crew. That's Chevron with Techron for unbeatable mileage and snacks for all. Coffee for mom, chips for the kids, cold drinks for dad. You know, for the road ahead. Toss in some laughs, out-of-tune singing, and a zillion "Are we there yet?" And you just made lifelong family memories. Chevron, together ahead.
August 6th is International Trading Card Day, and Topps wants to celebrate with you. Visit your participating local hobby shop, where you will receive a free pack of cards, plus a special card if you purchase $10 or more of Topps products, while supplies last. Post your packs on social media using the hashtag ToppsITCD, and follow along with @Topps. Visit Topps.com for more information. Hey A's fans, we've got a great deal for you. Get 4 tickets and parking for all Friday night games starting at just $39. Pick from great matchups, post-game fireworks and drone shows, giveaways, and more.
Outside corner, ring him up. And Eaton can't believe it.
Grab the crew and head to the Coliseum with friends and family any Friday night this season. 4 tickets and parking starting at just $39 for the whole group. Tickets are available at athletics.com. That's athletics.com.
Some things just go together. Peanut butter and jelly, cookies and milk, Oakland and Kaiser Permanente. If that last one caught you off guard, it shouldn't, because Kaiser Permanente has been helping keep Oakland healthy since our very beginning. And as the official healthcare partner of the Oakland A's, that won't be changing anytime soon. Whatever you may need, you can trust Kaiser Permanente to help keep you feeling your best. Kaiser Permanente. Thrive. Visit kp.org today.
Coming in at 5'3", it's #1 mom. She switched to Xfinity and got the all-new 3-for-1 bundle. Unlimited internet, streaming, and Xfinity Mobile. All for what you could pay wireless companies for just one 5G unlimited line. Boom shakalaka. Go to Xfinity.com/3-for-1, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit an Xfinity store today. Limited time offer. Restrictions apply. Xfinity Mobile requires post-pay Xfinity internet. After 24 months, regular rates apply to all services and devices.
Unlock offers and receive exclusive in-game features by downloading the MLB Ballpark app for iPhone and Android today. Plus, get the latest information on game times, schedules, and more.
Fireworks are returning to the Coliseum on Friday, June 3rd after the A's host the Boston Red Sox. Don't miss your chance to see Game 1 of the A's Red Sox series and the best fireworks display in the Bay. Presented by UBO Business Services. Tickets are available at athletics.com.
Like sports, business is about winning. Championship decisions are business decisions based on what it takes to help your company win. And that's why there's UBO Business Services, specializing in helping you win every day by streamlining workflows, managing documents, and providing the best-in-class office technology. Make your championship decision with UBO Business Services. Visit them at ubeo.com. That's ubeo.com.
Hey A's fans, we've got a great deal for you. Get 4 tickets and parking for all Friday night games starting at just $39. Pick from great matchups, post-game fireworks and drone shows, giveaways, and more.
Outside corner, ring him up. And Eaton can't believe it.
Grab the crew and head to the Coliseum with friends and family any Friday night this season. 4 tickets and parking starting at just $39 for the whole group. Tickets are available at athletics.com. That's athletics.com.
Streaming from the East Bay, A's Cast Live continues with Chris Townsend.
I've got a question. Is it time to start questioning some of the things that we're hearing, whether it's on a game, in a talk show, where people will just throw stuff out. And because, it's the new way of talking baseball, that you just take it as gold. And you don't really question it. You don't really question how they come up with certain numbers, certain percentages. But it just sounds great when you say, oh, his exit velocity. Oh, his barrel rate is this. And everybody goes, oh, okay. Because one of the great things ever said on A's Cast Live was from our buddy CJ Nikowski, who was just here. But he said it like, I don't know, it was like 3-4 years ago. And CJ said, hey, listen, doing his national thing on Sirius XM, he goes, but the reality is we all know our own teams better than everybody else does. And why is that? Well, because we watch every game. If you're an analyst in a studio, like let's just say at MLB Network, you're sitting in a studio and you've got all these TVs in front of you and you're watching all these games and you're talking to people and you're getting up and you're getting coffee, you're getting water, you're doing this, you're going to the bathroom. You're not sitting there watching every game compared to someone who is covering one team, i.e. the people today, like myself or other people that you're covering the A's, you're covering the Astros, you're going to keep score, you're watching a guy every single at-bat. So you tend to have a better idea about the team than people that are not here every single day. Captain Obvious, I get it. But the point is, people will start saying, well, this about a player, and you go, what the hell are you talking about? And I keep hearing, and we're rooting like hell for Christian Pache, and I keep hearing about this, how much he barrels it up and his hard hit rate. And I'm going, wait a minute. I'm watching this. I'm keeping score. How can you possibly tell me that this guy, if you watch this on an everyday basis, that this guy is hitting the ball hard, but he's just getting unlucky? And I'm like, I'm not buying it. A lot of rollovers, a lot of ground balls, a lot of weak pop-ups. Where are we getting these percentages? So I said to Cody, what has to happen for a player to have a hard hit rate? Go ahead, lay it on me.
It's defined as a ball that's hit with over 95 miles per hour with an exit velocity. So essentially, if you hit a pitch 95 miles per hour harder off the bat, that's considered a hard hit. Where I have the numbers for Christian Pache right here from Baseball Savant Statcast. His max exit velo this year was 108.6, but his average exit velocity is 90.8. So if you round up, it's 91. Where you want to be, like I said, 95 is where you're hitting the ball hard every time.
So let me give you this.
He's just above average when it comes to hard hit rate, and he's in the 75th percentile.
It just shows how bogus that is. You know what he's hitting at home?
No.
123.
Okay, that's not good.
There was a point this month where he was hitting for the month of May under 100.
He got 2 hits against Texas, I remember, over the weekend.
And they were all not hard hit balls.
Like, I remember you asked me about the hard hit. There was 2 balls that he hit yesterday. They were both ground outs. No, the exit velo was very hard off the bat, but they were ground outs.
Okay. This is why I think we really need, when we hear people, like there was this one ridiculous defensive stat about Pache that everybody, because they saw it in some notes, so everybody started to he's, what was it?
Outs above average.
Oh, everybody started, outs above average. If I went up to anybody and say, how do you get it? How do you explain it?
He's actually in the 97th percentile. It's great.
How do you cover it? No one knows. But
that's with catch probability.
So yesterday, you can roll over on a ground ball and hit a 2-hopper to the shortstop, routine play, easy out. Now, the guy on the mound's throwing 90-something miles an hour. It's a hard baseball. You've got a wood bat. You've got a hard object. You've hit it. It goes into play. Odds are there's going to be some type of velocity of the ball off the bat based on physics. But his easy routine ground ball to shortstop, that's an easy play every single day of the week, somehow gets registered as a hard hit ball. And then all of a sudden we have people like broadcasters and talk show hosts and people that will start using these stats or using whatever you want to call it, a percentage, a stat, whatever, and say, oh, well, look at his hard hit rate. And they're trying to basically say that, oh, don't technically look at these numbers because his numbers should be better. Look at his hard hit rate. There is nobody who can possibly tell me who have watched him play every single day that he should have better numbers than he has.
His expected batting average, according to Baseball Savant, is 259. What's he actually hitting this year? I believe it's 170. So 259 expected, which takes a lot of different factors. Hitting 170 on the season for real. 2 home runs, 11 RBI.
Now, I would love for him to hit 250. I'd love that. But this whole expected ERA, expected batting average, it means nothing.
The best was the Alex Cobb one from a couple weeks ago we were talking about. Well, he has a 6-something ERA, but his expected ERA is 170. Yeah, it
was the biggest disparity in baseball.
I watched him pitch in a game, and guess what? He gave up some runs that were his fault, not the defense.
Well, it's Alex Pavlovich did an article in The Athletic about it, and that day the article hits about how he has the biggest disparity in expected ERA, and he goes out that night and gives up a ton of runs.
Yeah.
So it's like
he's the unluckiest pitcher, they were saying. Unluckiest pitcher.
It literally, it's getting – I don't know how to want to put this because whenever you talk about this stuff, people get angry but no other sport has that I know of has these expected stats. Like if you score 10 touchdowns, you're never going to hear on the broadcast someone say, yeah, but his expected touchdowns are 17, even though he only has 10.
That's more of a fantasy thing.
Well, we're now using it in our own broadcasts. People are using these, and you're like, no one says Steph Curry had 9 3-pointers, but his expected 3-pointers tonight was 15. Goal score, birdies made, whatever sport you want to go to. No one says this is what you had, but if I looked at all the TrackMan on how you play golf, you should have had X amount of birdies. You had 3 birdies today, but you actually should have had 7 based on your TrackMan numbers. What sport does that? What sport? I can look at the intern. Yeah, only one baseball, and it means nothing. What does it mean to say he should be hitting 259? What? What game of that? I've watched every game. I've watched every at-bat. The games I missed for the Masters, I went back and watched. What has he done that makes you think he should hit 250? Tell me if I'm wrong. I'll gladly accept it.
I can't answer that question because
is there anybody out there that could answer watching him play this year that he should be hitting 70 points higher than what he is?
70.
Right?
He's hitting 170, so that's actually 80, almost 90 points higher.
90 points. He should be hitting 90 points. Yeah, he's hitting 170. Yeah. He's hitting 170. You're talking about a guy as a qualifier has like the lowest on base percentage, the lowest batting average. I mean, he's like the lowest of all the hundreds of guys in Major League Baseball. Hundreds.
Yeah.
And you're saying he should be hitting 90 points higher?
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I've looked at expected ERA and expected batting average and expected slugging.
Why? What does it mean? For what?
But now that I keep hearing
to pick a guy up for your fantasy team, super cheap, so you think he can help you out later, that doesn't win games here.
I think a little bit after hearing about it, these the expected numbers, maybe that's a way to boost the player's confidence who's struggling. I'm not saying that's why these stats were created. They were created to show how unlucky a player is for sure, but. I don't know. Maybe they use it for a confidence boost. Hey, you're hitting 200, but your expected batting average says you should be hitting 330.
If I have to go to expected numbers on a player, do I only do that when a player's numbers are down?
You can do it with anyone.
Because right now, no one's talking about what Paul Goldschmidt's expected numbers are.
I was going to pull up Mookie Betts, who has 12 home runs in.
Like right now, I don't know if there's a hotter man on the planet than Paul Goldschmidt.
Mookie Betts is pretty good. He's hitting 355 in May with 12 home runs.
Oh, have you seen Goldschmidt's numbers? Goldschmidt has the longest active on base streak at 35 games. He's got a 21-game hit streak. In that time, 9 bombs, 31 RBIs, OPS. His slash line is 442, 473, 895. So that's his batting average on base and slugging. His slugging is 895. You got a hotter guy than that?
I'm not saying hotter, but Mookie's up there. Mookie's doing.
You're going to tell me if we compared Mookie Betts the last 21 games, you're going to compare that?
I'm just looking at the home runs. But Mookie's batting average right now.
But my point is, and I can go to Machado. You want to, because the Padres and Cardinals, I got Machado stuff. You want to go on Machado stuff? We're not talking about their expected. Why are we not talking about their expected?
Because their numbers are good.
Because they're doing it. So the only time we're going to talk about what is the point of talking expected if I'm not playing fantasy baseball?
Goldschmidt's hitting 352, as you mentioned. His expected batting average.
No, I said he's hitting 442 during his hit streak.
Overall this year, he's hitting 352. His expected batting average, 278. Maybe is Paul Goldschmidt too lucky?
Wait a minute. What?
Yeah. Expected batting average, 278.
And he's hitting what?
352. Mookie's hitting 304. His expected batting average is 291. So it's only off by like 10 points or so.
So guys that are killing it, their expected batting average is lower than what it actually is. And guys who stink, their expected batting averages are higher than what they are. Is that what you're telling me?
Correct. I'm going to pull up Manny Machado.
And there's people who are actually citing this like it means something.
Manny's hitting 353 on the year. His expected batting average is 298.
But we literally have journalists and broadcasters who are citing this stuff like it matters.
I don't know. To build a point, I don't know.
So you're going to have guys who are having great years, their expected are way lower, and guys who are not having good years, their expected's way higher.
Yeah, like his expected slugging, this is Machado, is 490. His slugging right now is 572. What are you going to tell me? Because he plays in Petco Park's a good hitter's ballpark?
Since when did that happen?
That's what I mean.
Petco now is the launching pad?
Yeah, apparently.
That is unbelievable. But I will say, you know what? I unfortunately, just as a baseball fan, can you at some point appreciate the Astros? Are we going to be able to do that? Because I am a baseball fan. I mean, I hate them, obviously, but at some point, are you going to be able to appreciate what they've been able to do? I mean, they've been in how many ALCSs? How many World Series?
5 in a row, three World Series. They lose players every year, and they somehow find more guys to put out there who are just as good. Who would have thought Jeremy Pena would be? I mean, he's having a great year as a rookie, filling in for replacing Carlos Correa.
And as much as you want to crap on Altuve and Blum, right now he's taking pictures with fans behind the batting cage, with all kinds of fans, being very generous with his time. Let me tell you something. I've been watching batting practice with fans, having access down here. A lot of players will never even go over there and talk to the fans. Jose Altuve is over there right now taking selfies.
Yeah,
you don't see that a lot. Tells you a lot.
It's also he's still a solid leadoff hitter for the Astros. I know his average isn't there, but he's still a solid player.
But what's his expected batting average?
Oh, let's one more before we go.
What's his expected? What's he expected to do? I want to know what expected touchdown passes and touchdowns guys are supposed to have.
Who do you want to look up? Do you want to look up Joe Burrow or Tom Brady?
What's Tom Brady supposed to? I know what he has in his career. What is he supposed to have for his career?
Jose Altuve is hitting 286 this year. His expected batting average is supposed to be 297. He's unlucky. He's in the ball right at guys.
I didn't realize that the biggest run differential per game is in jeopardy to be broken this year.
Yeah. What team holds that record?
It's the 19. Is it O or in the 10s?
1902
Pirates.
Pittsburgh Pirates. The Pirates got something still.
Did not know. I have no clue who was on the 19, but
Honus Wagner.
Was he on that team?
That's the only guy I can think of.
Was he in 19? He's that old? Wagner played that early? So it's run differential per game. And the 1902 Pirates, who was on MLB Now today, is the greatest ever. The Dodgers.
His first year was 1900.
Could break that record. 1900 was his first year.
They already have their run differentials.
He's a good little player, Honus Wagner.
Their run differentials over 100 already this year, but they can't beat the Pirates. That's all that matters. With their minus 83 run differential, the worst in the sport.
Well, run differential, according to Billy Bean, matters.
Well, the Scott Service manager of the Mariners.
It's a fun
differential.
The fun differential. How's that fun differential doing?
They're not very good. They're 7 games under right now. Not as bad as the Phillies. Panic in Philadelphia. Time to fire Joe Girardi. But I was told it was Gabe Kapler's fault. Kapler's the reason why they can't win. But we got to get going. You got pregame in like 10 minutes.
I just want to throw this out here. A's got to get their fun differential going. They're minus 44.
Yeah, it's not good. It's even worse at home.
Yeah, home's been tough. But you know it's not tough? Doing this show from here is not tough. We want to thank our buddy Geoff Blum. We want to thank Jed Lowrie, and we want to thank Dallas Braden for coming on A's Cast Live. You get the day off tomorrow.
Well, no, I'll be working, so I just won't be here.
Yeah, he's going to be in his apartment hanging out. That's like a day. That's not a day off.
And then there's an actual day off on Thursday where you guys will get to go golfing, and I actually have to work.
That's right. If you're listening, Ken Korak, you're listening, Vince Cotroneo.
I heard you're going to golf with Jensen soon.
You're listening, Shooty Babbitt. You boys better be ready to go on Thursday. I'm just letting you. The shots are fired now. The law firm of Korak, Cotroneo, and Babbitt. You better all be ready on Thursday because I'm coming for you guys. No excuses. No excuse. You've been traveling. No one wants to.
You're ready. You're 5:30.
I can just do pregame from right here.
Okay. Well, we can't be on the field that whole time. So
you buy anything, they'll kick us off.
Yeah.
What do we got for A's Total Access? Brought to you by Chevron.
Jed Lowrie is going to be your guest from our show today.
And then who do we have tomorrow?
Probably Dallas and Geoff Blum.
Oh, I love it. Thank you listening and watching A's Cast Live. We'll see everybody on Friday at 4 o'clock as we'll get you ready for the Athletics and the Red Sox. We'll be back in 10 minutes with A's Total Access.
The Coliseum has gone by many names, but none better than the Last Dive Bar. Hi, everyone. Ken Korak here, and my friends at Last Dive Bar are helping us